All day, every day, the human brain absorbs a relentless barrage of sights, sounds and smells. The brain's ability to decide which of the images and sensations are important has fascinated neuroscientists for decades. But now, research taking place at the Ronald Reagan Medical Center in Los Angeles is providing some answers. Neuroscientist Moran Cerf has been leading the research.
The question that we were interested in is understanding how competition is resolved in the brain. You see many things when you walk around the street. You see little kids coming towards you, but one of them is your son. And the fact that he's your son makes your brain notice him first. Now the question is, how does the brain know that this is your son to notice first?
To find out, Cerf and his team began by studying the brains of 12 volunteers, all epilepsy patients. Their epilepsy treatment required the surgical implantation of 64 tiny electrodes in their brains to identify the areas responsible for their seizures. But for Cerf, the electrodes also provided the opportunity to wire the patients to what he calls a brain-machine interface and record the activity of the neurons in their brains when presented with specific images. By showing the patients a series of familiar images such as pictures of Marilyn Monroe or Josh Brolin, Dr. Cerf and his colleagues were able to identify individual neurons which uniquely and reliably responded to one or other of the images.
There's a situation where the patient is seeing a picture of Marilyn Monroe, but I told him, think of Johnny Cash. And he sees, his eyes are kind of seeing one thing, but his brain thinks of the other thing, and we actually see competition between those two notions, between the vision and the imagery. And we can see that the patient is able to override the vision with his own thoughts.
It took just seconds before the patients were able to make their targeted image visible while eliminating the competing image entirely. And by watching the neurons' activity, the researchers were able to guess what the patients were thinking about, effectively reading their minds. The science is in its very early stages, but Dr. Cerf says it has cracked open a window into the study of human thought. By providing visual cues, he says that one day it might be possible to read the thoughts of people who are unable to communicate because of paralysis. He says that for now such an application is the stuff of science fiction, but at the very least it's food for thought. Rob Muir, Reuters.